I'm a kid. I'm a great hair.
We are here with our spotlight on Karen Tilley, who has been a part of our Worthy Collective and now a founding member of our Worthy Collective Ascension and Rooted community. And what I thought would be so fantastic would be to learn a little bit more about her. But first, I can tell you what I love most about Karen. Ah, Karen and I crossed paths many, many years ago. And what was so incredible is that when I met her, she was working more than a full-time job. You know, that job that you are only required this amount, but she was the type of woman that put in this amount. And she worked predominantly with men, and she came to events and came to anything that I saw her at with such an open heart and willingness to serve, even though she was serving so many hours in her week in a very intense way. She still came to serve. And what I loved most was her consistency, that when she showed up when I first met her to years and years later, you always knew if you saw Karen, she might be tired, she might be frustrated, she might have had the worst day, worst week, worst month. She might have traveled all month long in all sorts of different capacities for work, and she still showed up. And there's such a treasure when you find people who are willing to step in and they care and they're willing to serve even when they might not have much left. And so what's so exciting is now to see Karen in retirement. She's just as busy, if not busier. And yet the solutions that she's found for herself, her family, and those she loves, she's going to share. And so we need more women like Karen who is willing to show up even when they're empty, and being able to link arms and use her background, her experience in ways that she's found solutions to offer as options. So thank you for being here. So
Oh, bless your heart, Maggie. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. I'm not sure how to even begin to follow that, but I would say that we are all motivated by something, whether it's something we're internally doing, and or somebody that motivates us. So you push me, you motivate me. Um, I wanted to be in your space all the time. So I've been following you over the years and watching you grow and watching you try different things. And, how does it fit in your family and how does it fit in for you? And recognizing also too when this needs to be my focus over here and I'm gonna go like this with that right now or a while. And I'm so thankful and proud of you and thankful for you that you have created this worthy collective, excuse me.
same. It's all good. It is a
And
collection. It is a
it
collection, that's
is, right?
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks for being you.
Ah, back at you, love. I treasure that because I know it's genuine. And you have seen me. Oh man, the years. I was actually trying to think of it when I might have met you. Like, do you know what year it was, maybe?
Oh, let's see. How old is Declan?
Oh, he's 12, or he's just turned 13. I was gonna say Lucy.
It's been longer than that.
Because it was before kids.
Hmm.
Was it when I was on the east side in St. Clair Shores?
No.
No. Okay. Because we've been here, I think it'll be, I actually need to look this up. We have been in Milford, I think December will be 18 years.
It's been that long because it was new. I'm pretty sure it was fairly new, I think, when
Do you remember what car I was driving when you met me? Like Mary Kay car? Alexa, turn it down to level 2.
I
Gosh,
would say it wasn't, I don't think it was Cadillac yet. I don't remember what it was before that. It was car. It wasn't, well, Caddy was car too, but
I know, I could tell you what year it was based on what Mary Kay car I was driving.
gray? White?
Yeah, no, yeah, then that
Mhm.
would have been just before we moved because I earned a red Grand Am, a silver Grand Prix, and then went on to the Cadillacs. So I bet you met me in St.
Like,
Clair Shores as we were moving out here. So that would probably be, I'm gonna say probably 19 or 20 years.
yeah, that's crazy when you think of it. It's like, oh my gosh, where did 20 years go?
I know, like literally as we're saying this, I'm like, well, yeah, because whew, anyway, time is
Don't waste it, right? Because
no, exactly. So I have three very specific questions, and of course, with time allows, um, maybe more, because it's how I roll. But most specifically, what I wanted to focus on is more about you, where you've been, and now where you're going. So, share with everyone because I think that's the share of your experience of where you've been and how hard you worked in such a tough environment
Mhm.
is really, really special because it wasn't for a minute. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you tried it and it stunk and and then you moved on to something else. You were in it for quite some time in a very challenging environment. And I
Yeah.
believe that lends to women. You can speak to women who are either thinking about it, they're going into it, they're in it, they're coming out of it. You know what I mean? So let's go back to your career and sharing with everybody where you've come from.
So I wrote a couple of notes. So I'm gonna kind of
Oh,
like
good.
look back and forth. Um, so I grew up in, we'll go way back, right? I grew up in a house with three boys, brothers. I'm the oldest and only. So I was very comfortable working, hanging out in the boy world, right? I was very much
You're
I would say,
accustomed to it.
yeah, I was a tomboy and you had to kind of stick up for yourself with three boys. So when I was in automotive world back in 1984, I started my first co-op student engineer at in automotive, and I worked there until 2 years ago. I was just looking that up in different places. Yeah, so I don't know, 38 years, something like that, long time.
38 years in the automotive as a female.
As a female, and you think, oh, it's going to change and we're going to do this, and no, we just figure out how to work with the men that are there, and they're still there, and it really has not changed. I don't care what anybody says in any corporation, even probably Mary, who works in GM, right? She's the CEO. I'm sure it's just as tough for her. So within all of that, um Mary Kate did come in my world then, and I had really bad skin, and mom had the opposite skin, so I really needed help. And I met a gal at um, a home party, and I was like, I'd love to help people. I'm not the only one who just as soon wear a baseball hat and blue jeans and a ponytail. And I went into that role and it helped so many women just who didn't know where to put makeup. I don't have any on today. It's kind of early in the morning and I have no reason to put makeup on today. It's a little different, but it was a great experience. I learned that I could be the girly girl, but I could also be, that girly girl in the male industry and still be successful in it, working for somebody else, but also be successful because I too earned a free car, all of that. And I had that red Grand Am and a couple of quarter sales um, rings and court of sales, like in our team, the queen. So I got a few crowns and it was the coolest thing. But I really, 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 really remember, I don't remember Mary Kay Ash herself. I didn't get to meet her personally. Um, but I remember the long lines of watching her in different videos of watching her greet people and talk to people. And the person she was talking to felt like they were the only one in the room. They had to have, because she really paid attention to whoever it was she was working with at the moment, talking to at the moment. And I think that's important. It's not for what she's going to get. It's what can you give to other people, and who can you be there for that person at the moment. And I think that's really important. Um, so that was that. And then, um,
So you had just a, like, I know this, but not everyone else who watches
yeah,
this may not know. So by day, you were an engineer,
yeah, yeah.
and by night, you were skincare, makeup, business owner. So what would you say before you had Mary Kay? How many years were you in automotive without that? So like you're doing the grind, just
Um, Probably, I would say a good 10 or 12,
okay.
probably 12
So
years.
So what would you say without that? Because I know what it brought me, and we can talk about that.
Yeah.
And yet, but without that, how did you endure that environment without a support system, a community like Mary Kay? 'Cause
Right.
we agree that that was bar none, like absolutely incredible, and that was fabulous. But what did you do before you had access to that?
I'll be honest, I struggled, because I struggled. In fact, point blank, I'm like, look, I'm doing all of these things, and I'm looking, where's the promotion? Where is it from? Where is, that I'm spending all this time, effort here, and I'm doing my job and I'm doing extra. Where is it? Where is it my promotion? Where is it? And I was told that they didn't really care about anything else I was doing. They wanted me to do this, right? Just this little bit. Just do this little bit. The rest, they're not even looking at. It was weird. So talk to dad, right? Because dad's a great place to talk to. And he said, yeah, he goes, I understand that. He said, that's pretty ridiculous. They don't realize what a gift they have with you. Um, Try it their way. Don't bust yourself so much. Don't, don't go be who you are, but tone it down. Don't give so much to them. They aren't, they aren't appreciating it. Don't give so much to them. Do what they ask and they will notice. Within a couple of months, I was promoted. I got a, I got a physical promotion. I got a dollar raise promotion. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm doing so much less.
Mm,
And honestly, I was bored.
mm.
So that that taught me a lot. You working for somebody else is strictly working exactly what they want you to do, and no more, no less. Just do what they expect. Um, Not very fulfilling. It was like, really? And then I kind of learned, you know what? Um, oh, go get your master's degree. I'm like, for why? So I can go spend a bunch of money, spend a bunch of time, and what am I getting out of it? That you can say you've got somebody in this position with a master's degree? I chose not to. I didn't need it. I didn't even need the bachelor's degree that I was using half the time. I didn't need that. So for me, um, it was a struggle. I think what got me through it, a lot of the way, was really what I learned in the systems, in our Monday night meetings, right? In our places to go get fulfilled, get our cup
So
filled.
what you're saying is that when you transitioned into your own business, and it happened to be Mary Kay that had physical events where you
Mhm.
physically, out old school, like got in the car, you went and sat somewhere,
Yes.
You
Yeah.
served, you showed up, and you learned, and you grew, especially because some of that schedule ended up being on a Monday. So that in which you were given hope, direction, like you said, learning something, you were able to apply that to your week
Yeah.
for work.
Yep. Yep. I I learned to take time for me in my day, even working for other people, making a making a list of the important things that I had to complete the next day, work and Mary Kay, right? So we learned some things. And then it was interesting because there was that I learned, and another thing I learned was giving choices. Um, so does daytime or evening work better for you? Is weekday or weekend? And those two things, actually, the boss that I work for um, told me that was the most valuable lesson I taught him for his marriage. Yeah, he said
Wow.
that
For his marriage?
for his marriage, he said, I used to be frustrated and I would have all these choices. And he goes, it's too much. Which of these 56 eyeshadows would you like? Ugh, right?
Mhm.
He said, I started going, well, we could do this or we could do this. He said, best thing ever. He goes, I stopped giving her all these choices. I gave her a couple, and he goes, perfect. She can make a choice. I was happy. Things were fabulous. It was interesting. And then the six most important things list that we learned how to do, that just because you now, like you said, we went from meeting in person, then came email, and everybody got stuck at a desk and sifting through emails, which I don't think anybody does anymore. Um, but it took me to the important parts of my job that I needed to do first. Email was last. They weren't paying me to do email. So that.
So interesting. I've got to put a little pin here for anybody who is watching this and you have kiddos. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been a Mary Kay event. No, I know what it was. I know what it was. It was a Mary Kay customer of mine that recommended us to an event. And I knew events were so powerful because they change your state of mind, but they change your physical state because they get you out of your normal, which nowadays our normal can be from home, which is such a blessing, but we can still get in a rut. So in that little side note, this customer recommended us to, and I'm trying to remember, I might have to, when I do figure it out, it was so long ago. That we went to, and I don't know if they still have them today, but anyway, it was a parenting, nutrition, school, all sorts of different things. And we went into this one class we thought would be great. And then we ended up, it was full. So we went to another one. And one of the greatest gifts that came from that event was the choices. But the choices in this way for parenting was, and it can be useful in business and all things, is three options. Always,
Always
because
three.
I was the black and white. And I would give Declan, you can do this or you
I
can do this. And then he felt cornered and then we battled. And so,
remember when you told me that.
yeah. And so one of the things that was so good is that there's times now, or always, I should say, not always, let's take that word out. There's times when I don't have a third option. I can't think of one. I'm like stuck. And so then I'll say, mostly with Declan, can you think of a third option? And so this is a point that we can use with your choices. It's so powerful. Yes, choices are amazing. And especially in our businesses, in a business, in any kind of career, in parenting, in relationships, three options give people choice.
Yeah.
And that choice is so powerful. And even when you can't think of a third, then just say to the other person, what do you think could be available that I might be missing? What do you think? What's another option? What's another choice? How could we go about this? But being able to work with that, I think is so powerful. So powerful.
Yeah,
So good.
it is. It is. And you know what? As I sit here and think about it, I think I said two, but I think it was three because I know better, to give the three options, I
Well,
think.
you didn't say
And,
choice, but just meaning choices.
yes,
And
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 it
that
is.
spot was a good one for me to learn because I gave choices, but I really only gave like this or this. Let's go. And then I'd be like battling with Declan, and I was like, what is going on? Why is this not working? Well, he felt
Right.
cornered. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so
It's like
that,
I don't like either one of those options.
no,
And I just took a note for myself. Because we're always learning. We're always learning
oh,
about, you know,
100%.
always learning. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you were doing your job, you edited what you were doing because it wasn't being recognized. And when you were able to fill your cup in a different way to learn and grow, you were open to a Mary Kay career. And so that was something you weren't leaving your job, yet it kept you going with both. And it sounded like because you earned a car and you had leadership, you could utilize your skill in another way without quitting your job. And it gave you the momentum to keep going in both.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I want to switch gears
Yeah.
because I know you have my notes, but it seems more prudent at this point that we skip to the third question, which is, what are you most excited about now? Because now, fast forward, share about, you're 2 years into retirement and you have found a number of different avenues to
Yeah.
support that much that retirement wasn't going to be sitting around reading books and singing kumbaya, that you love
No.
to be active, that's who you are, you love to serve. And there sounds like, from my knowledge, you have found some solutions that could be helpful to other people. So you want
Yep.
to share like in that
Yeah.
transition of retirement?
Yeah. So, one of the things that happened, years back in 2010, actually. So I gotta go with a little bit of story here, because it all builds up, it all leads up to it. I, I, I grew up with having endometriosis, and it was just horrific. If anybody knows what that is, it's just painful. And so finally, fast forward 2010. Okay, uncle, I'll have a hysterectomy. We'll just take care of that. I'm not having, at this age, I'm not gonna have kids, and I couldn't anyway, so we'll just move on. 3 days post-op, full body rash. Couldn't figure out what was going on. They put me on all kinds of steroids and fixed that problem. And then I have to wean off of all of these for a few more months. And then all this joint pain showed up.
Mm.
And then fast heart rate, thyroid issues, kidney issues, all kinds of stuff. Well, finally, and I was firing doctors very quickly, like five of them very quickly, to get to somebody that could give me an answer. And I was diagnosed with SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, and discoid lupus, which discoid is the external that you see, and systemic is all of the organ damage that you don't see. So here I go into zero medications to now 13 medications that I was taking for years. And so from 2010 until just over 5 years ago,
Hold
and
on,
I had
hold on. Let me do some math there.
kind
So
of right,
9 years, nine
yeah,
years. Okay. So 9 years, you took 13 medications every day.
yeah, and it just kept building and building, and they're adding, and at the end, it was 13 medications. It was awful. I mean, I gained weight, I had no energy, I'm like, where did I go? And I'm trying, now keep in mind, I am still working as an engineer in automotive. I am still doing Mary Kay and keeping a customer base of 300. So I was busy, and I was married newly, 2009, and
Ugh.
all of that. And he was working full time. Plus, he was working more than full time. It's kind of crazy.
Looking
So
back as to like how in the world you did it, right?
yeah,
When you're like,
Hmm. And the
Mhm.
thing with lupus is you look okay. Nobody can tell. Usually, nobody can tell. Until it was a day where I walked into work with a cane, or I was on crutches, or I needed that
Mhm.
assistance for that day, and it kind of came and went. There was no rhyme or reason explanation for any of it. It was crazy.
Well,
So
except for medicines that are gonna dehydrate you. This one creates inflammation, this one doesn't. Side effects, you're gonna have the backside trots, and then you're gonna be constipated. Like,
yes, exactly. Welcome to my world. I'm like, um, not that I considered it, but I tell you what, I totally understand why people contemplate suicide. That's how bad I felt. It was awful.
well, I'm sure all the medicine that, counteracts, and then when they give it to you, they're like hoping that it's gonna work instead of getting to the root cause, you know?
Yeah.
And with that many medications, I'm sure that battle inside was like literally a battle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fix this. No, I'm gonna fix this. No, I'm just gonna give her diarrhea today, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've learned a lot since then, and the body really it needs help to help itself and heal itself. Um, and that's where a friend of mine shared a company that was in the United States, and she's like, I have no idea if this could help you or not, but the company I found has all natural ingredients. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, another pill. She goes, well, yeah, there's supplements, but that's not it. And you think of the skin is the biggest organ. And what do we put on our skin? Water, soap, shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, makeup. That was huge for me. I'm like, huh, makeup. Okay. Laundry, soap on our clothes, all the things.
All the
So
toxins.
all of the toxins. And I had no idea until I started learning. I'm like, what's a phthalate? What's a paraben? What's all this noise? Well, endocrine disruptors, a lot, all of it. So I'm like, well, what do I have to do? And she's like, well, I just buy all my essentials every month from this company and they send it to my door. Every I'll bite. I don't even care. I jumped in. What? She goes, well, we have
So,
a
so at that point, would you say that you are at all familiar with all those things in your house and all those things that could be making such a big difference? Not at all. I actually
none.
just reposted in my stories this morning a woman that was sharing about the plugins and any
Oh,
kind of plugin that is so harmful.
yeah.
And it's always funny because I'm like, oh, it smells so nice, but then it's like what you end up doing. I literally did it just now, like like,
Here.
oh, is that really good for us? So like something like that we might have been taking for granted, and there's other alternatives, and having, there's a array of choices that we didn't know we didn't have before. And that's what I'm hearing that you were open to because you just didn't know what you didn't know. You didn't
I
ever think
had
about all
no
those
idea.
things that are in like these basics that we literally, what's probably scarier than anything that we use every single day. We're not saying like
Everything
a special occasion. We're saying like from AM to PM, repeat, repeat, repeat.
without even, without even. And, we've always washed clothes. Well, it didn't used to have all this goop in it.
Yeah.
It didn't used to have all this stuff in it.
Hmm.
And everything else, right? Many of it is byproducts of industry, and I can take and use it way over here and stick it in cosmetics
Hmm. Yeah.
because I don't have to figure out how to get rid of it. I can just sell it over here.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. So I well, and talk about smells. I was over at a friend's house, yeah, a couple of days ago. And we're sitting there and I'm like, man, I am just choked up. Now, we've been helping them work on a project at their home. So I've been over there a lot. She decided she was going to light a candle. As soon as we put that candle out, covered it up, problem solved. Had no idea, had no idea. So fast forward, that friend shared with me, and I'm like, I, I was, I was not hopeful. I was not positive. I was praying that sure. And you know what have I got to lose? Another medication addition? Because the next medication they were going to stick me on was methotrexate. They were going to start putting me on chemo drugs. No. Abort, not happening. I will deal with the pain. Not happening. So I got this monster box and just started replacing stuff in my home. Well, I was out of laundry detergent. I needed some new shampoo, just started changing whatever. And then as I ran out, I would just replace it every month. Well, it didn't take that long. It was within like a week, I started noticing different things. I wasn't, I didn't need, you know, this medication for pain 3 or 4 times a day, and it was barely taking the edge off. I just little, and I was giving myself shots in the belly of Embrel, I don't know, 3 times a week or whatever it was. It was a lot, and I was all black and blue, and it was awful. So I called my doctor, and I'm like, okay, is there a wean off like steroids, right? Pretty bad that you realize that, there's a wean off period, and I know how to do it well. I've done it several times, and ended up, she's like, no, you can just stop. This one you have to wean off, this one you can just stop. I'm like, okay, stop. Whatever I could stop, I stopped. Whatever I could wean. Kidney function was better, over just honestly, I went from like a week, like, wow, I'm going from a pain scale of about mine. I called mine like a 20 scale. 10 wasn't high enough. It just didn't seem right. To about a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
And and then I got off the last one, which was the blood pressure medication. Yeah, right. So and what happened was my resting heart rate was going way too low. And I'm like, man, I just feel lightheaded. What's going on? And she's like, huh, maybe we can take that last one off. Yep. Off, off.
so powerful. I love it. I love it.
And yeah, so that company, um, Melaleuca, the wellness store, is huge to me. And I love to share that about people. And recently I just noticed on the internet, everybody's like, well, how about instead of putting pink ribbons on everything for breast cancer awareness month, we just stop and take all the chemicals out of products. Why don't we just do that? I'm like, hello, let me share with you. Let me share with you what I found. It doesn't break the bank. That was huge because most everything that I've found was uh 3 times the price, whatever. But what I found is things like toothpaste. It's $1.50 cheaper than going and buying Colgate that I've used for years.
And it's
Am I?
fluoride free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of those things, and this is kind of a fine line because so many people think, oh, that's a conspiracy thought. Well, you know what? What might have been termed that by the media, we're
Right.
learning now how that affects our body and how it harms us. And yet it may not harm everyone, thank God. Yet, when you're on a certain prescription, when there's certain things that are like off or heightened amount of stress, lack of sleep, dehydration, then that chemical that's in your body sets off things and makes a big difference. So, so many people over the years, and was a part of a company that was a whitening toothpaste, and they didn't have the fluoride free for quite some time. And I learned so much from people who are like, Mags, this is so important for you to understand. And so it was such great learning on my side because I didn't know what I didn't know. and
Yeah.
learning how, again, that ingredient that you do once, twice, maybe 3 times a day if you brush your teeth is literally
Invisalign, 5, 6.
yeah, inside your body. And it can really take a toll. And would it be the one thing? No, like you said, it's layering those
Building.
things like your laundry detergent, what you clean with, unplugging all those things and, like figuring out, is there a candle that is not harmful?
Hmm.
And nowadays it's harder to find, but you found a company that encompasses it all and it was a gift. Now you have a story because you applied it. You didn't say, well, we'll see and hope for the best. You stepped in little by little by little. You didn't eliminate everything at one time. You did it baby steps. You did the proper protocol, which is now going to be a blessing because you're not a medical doctor. You're only real proof of an experience. And I love when you're talking about the quotes. I've seen that too, and I love it. Um, it's going to take time. It's going to take a
Yeah.
ton of time for
Right.
people to really be responsible because there's so much money in what
Oh,
they're doing. And so your company's already figured it out, and the blessing is they've been around for years. They've made it simple,
yeah.
available, and you're a person that somebody can go to with results and experience. And everybody's different, yet that option and choice is super important, and the responsibility that we have to make those choices, you know, like you don't have to make the extreme is keep doing what you're doing if everything is great. Yet awareness is super important because those disruptors will happen in a number of different ways. And you can always make your own laundry soap, but some people like that's a lot of time and energy. So a company's already figured out how to do this and give you options. And you can be a customer, you can be an actual member, run a business, there's options.
Yeah,
So
there is. That's the cool part. You still have access and pay full price. You have member access and get it at discount, 30 to 50% discount, or you can be a member and share, right? You can do exactly no different than I'm doing. I'm just sharing and you can have little checks or big checks.
right.
Uh, they
Choices,
open.
choices, choices.
I
I think
love.
I heard three choices. A
Mhm.
customer, you can be a member to
Right.
save, or you can be a member to save and share.
Yeah.
So
But
powerful. What are your other avenues that you love and love to share?
I love, even with all of the hype that just happened, right? Tupperware. So I was reintroduced to Tupperware about a year ago. I was I was invited to a party, and part of that was, I really want a meal plan and I want easy solutions to prep, you know, hold, be able to freeze and reheat and be able to plan. And I wanted the containers, I guess, to do that with, or the cooking utensils to do that with. I really had no idea. I thought they were still just bowls, right? Wow. I think they've re-engineered over the last 70 years.
70? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
70, actually 78 if you count back before, but
They went public.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow, that's amazing. Wow.
it was so cool. I'm like, this, and now everything's online, right? We're doing this online. A party. Well, people really don't want to come clear an evening and go to somebody's home and somebody has to clean their home. People don't want to do that anymore. They're like, no, it's bad enough. I have to do that for family that show up. Um, they don't want to do that. So I learned messenger parties. That's what I was invited to. Think we all have this, right? We all have this. So there was a group party going on in Messenger, and I'm like, it kind of was an interaction based for 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, huh, how much do you make? Well, it seems fun. I'm, in the middle of last summer, whatever, or tail end of last summer. My husband will think I'm paying attention to him because I'll be sitting next to him on my phone anyway. And I'll be doing this. That was really my whole thing. I'm like, sure, I'll bite, I'll try it. Well, I earned a whole bunch of free fun stuff because I was sharing with everybody else, and I did it just for the free stuff. I
That's
did it and I learned some things, and I now have recipes, and it's expanding even more in the last, month or so of seeing people go live on their Facebook or their stories and doing demonstrations of how to use the
awesome.
different things. So that's been kind of fun. And um, so, in fact, I just had a customer call me yesterday. Hey, they live close to me. I broke this lid.
Aw.
I know, right? Well, they still honor their warranty on this. And I guarantee this is older than I am because I know who she is. I went to school with her daughter.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, really? I didn't know that was possible. That's awesome.
whole thing. If I can, so there's this long list, and they will make those lids every so often, and and you can go get a replacement for it.
That's awesome.
So
That's
anyway,
cool. That's white glove service right there.
yeah, it's pretty cool. As far as the consultant goes, it's a little more work, but this lady was super sweet on the phone when she called me. Corporate gave her my number. Uh,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it is kind of cool. So there's a little bit of that. So I still get to help people, and it's
Have some fun.
interesting. It's interesting how the Tupperware portion and the healthier choices portion, right? How those are mingling together. Um, it's very cool. It's
And I believe there's two more. So there's two more. One, the oils.
so, and I'm learning about I'm learning with doTERRA about oils. They have there's so many different things. I just did their convention virtually this year. Had some things come up and didn't go live, but I already paid for it, so I got to attend virtually, and I've learned a ton. Who knew about the effects of certain oils, and I'm still learning. But that's why I wanted to go. I wanted to learn about oils. Melaleuca has oils. Melaleuca itself is an oil, tea tree.
Mm.
But they didn't really have classes where I could learn. So I'm like, well, my girlfriend introduced me to this company. To the point, I was stung by a bee, and I knew she could help, right? Instead of going to the ER and getting plugged full of stuff that'll knock
Or
you out for,
steroids.
yeah, for 3 days and all of that. She shared with me how to mix some oils and, uh, you know, honestly drink it. And 3 shots of this stuff later, and all the swelling was gone.
We
All
actually used
natural.
the tea tree oil on Declan's knee on the bite.
Did you?
Yeah, we've been working. I mean, there's so many. That's the thing. It's like things like that. There's options, alternatives, and such great benefit. And when I was reading, same thing about like what it's been around forever. I'm like, how do we not know this?
Yeah.
You know? And I think it's been suppressed because it wants to go a different direction. Like, here, go this way. So you
For
can,
pharmacy, right?
oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Imagine, I think I saw, oh, I just got the chills. Like God's pharmacy of
Yeah.
veggies and herbs and things that have come out of the ground to give us, you know, healing.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
it's
So good.
so cool to see how they go to, certain parts of the world are better,
True. Yeah.
or
Like they're
certain,
not that like this is a great point is that oils are not all created equally and
right.
understanding where they're created and if they're made with perfumes versus the real herb and what a
Right.
difference that makes. And so
Right.
I know doTERRA is really a great company because they pride their big if I remember right the source of
The
which they
source.
they,
And learning where, there's a source of land, and there was a company that came and worked with them, took all their stuff, right? Took the oils, but didn't help them replant, didn't help them keep going.
yeah.
doTERRA came in and they showed the difference in a year, especially in those tropical environments, how much can grow and thrive. And so they partnered with them. And so they can keep this cycle going with them. And it brings life and more to that community where we're getting the benefit of the oils, and we're giving back to them and helping boost their livelihoods as well too. So it's a true partnership.
I
Really
love
cool.
it. I love it. Well, I know there's one more thing you're working on, and it's not an offer
We don't offer
yet, but in your digital marketing business that will support all these other areas and learning and growing. Because what I'm hearing from you is that you are a person that values learning.
I do. I do. I love to learn. I love to give options. And um I love, I guess, and helping people, right? I love to help them. Look, there is a choice here. Whether it's get healthier, whether it's financial, whether you need it to work around something else that you're currently doing. Um, what is your personality? What does that look like? Um, or all of it. You'd be another one of me, right? That's going to do all of the above. And that's worthy, the worthy collective and the ascension community, and empowering each other. Um, it really has helped me, um, how I learned to talk to myself that I deserve to be treated a certain way, and I am worthy. I deserve the absolute best, and I don't have to settle for less. Whether that's the relationships I'm in, whether that's the products I buy, um, whatever that is. So the worthy um, collective has really taught me that I deserve so much more. I'm worthy. I think of that, and I just told that to a few people, and they're over here on the sidelines going, "Tell me more." Like,
Hmm. There's something to
yeah,
that. Because
yeah,
then you're stepping into those areas of joy. So you found Melaleuca for the opportunities for your health, and then it led you to Tupperware, opportunities for fun, some cash, mingling, doing something that you've known how to do is serve, give options, proportion meals properly with great containers that have warranties. And you have doTERRA for learning for alternatives there. Way better to diffuse an oil than some plug-in
yeah,
that's going to give
yeah.
a bunch of funky perfume smells and that can really disrupt our hormones. And yeah. And then you have a digital course that you're leaning into, you're learning so that you can apply it to all these avenues little by little. And through this, the whole thing, you could have very easily, which is really such a good point here, that I've come across some women to say, oh, I have a community, I'm good. So you have a Melaleuca community, you have a Tupperware community, you have a doTERRA community, and you chose into Worthy Collective. So what made the choice into Worthy Collective, even though you already have those communities, what was it about the Worthy Collective that made you willing to step into a space? Because you have communities where some people, I mean, I'm going to be really honest, some people have zero. Like
Yeah.
they don't have a church, they don't have a girlfriend group, they don't have a family, a community that meets on Sundays to have dinner together. They don't have anything, and you have it. So what
Mhm.
made the difference between you wanting to be a part of something?
For me, I think what it did is kind of take it's like I feel like I'm over here, I'm over here, I'm over here. I'm like that I had to choose. Like, well,
Mm.
should I choose Melaleuca or Tupperware? Should I choose one to focus on? Should I? And I'm like, my heart kept telling me, no, why do you have to choose? And what I've learned, or why I looked at Worthy, um, just I think, I mean, it's hard for me to go backwards because I'm like, I know for me, what it's done for me now is, maybe that's an easier way to loop it back around to it, is more self-assured of myself and worthy of not good, great relationships. Um, Fix the procrastination that I was really claiming good at. Doesn't serve me well. Um, and see what's possible.
Hold on for that, for right there. Like that's so good. Procrastination. So what do you think about the Worthy Collective that got you to make moves? Because like you've been making moves. Like when you're
Yeah.
retired,
Yeah.
you don't have to, but you have to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I know for you, like you guys don't stay in Michigan 100% of the time, you're gonna go south. So there's
Right.
certain things you're like, well, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this. But when you're retired, it's like, well, we could probably kind of sort of put it till tomorrow, right? So what
Mhm.
I'm hearing you say is that when you chose into the Worthy Collective, it got you to make moves, and those moves helped in Melaleuca. They've helped in Tupperware. They have helped in doTERRA's willingness to like learn, your willingness to look at digital marketing and how that can apply. Yet by yourself, you were, would you dare say you were the O word? The word I don't like to say.
Old
I would never say that. No. Over.
achiever,
Well,
over.
over with the W. I don't like to say it. Overwhelmed.
Oh goodness. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It's a word I don't like. I'm not gonna, okay, so anybody who doesn't know
But
me,
and
that word is a
I
word.
should know that it is.
It's okay. You were deleting it because I, probably said to you over the years, the difference with that word, once it hits your lips, once it hits your tongue, comes out of your mouth, it means that it's been going here
Yeah.
and it's been saying it all the time. And I'm not denying that that's a thing, but that word is a spiral that only makes you go deeper into
Right. Yes. Yes.
than
I was so
anything. And it's hard to get up off your butt
yeah.
to do. And so you chose to do what was,
Pivot.
yeah, what was the little spark? Well, if you could go back,
Yeah.
I have to look back to the dates of the Worthy Collective because I know you were on the fence about it. I know you were. It
I
wasn't
was
like you immediately said, because I know that the self-talk was, I have a community here, I have a community here, I have a community, I have this, I have that. So what was the one thing that you were like, what the heck? Let's go.
I want. I'm not sure exactly what you're driving at, but
So, what, like driving at, like when you made the decision to join the Worthy Collective, because at that time it was all we had was a 10-week study. It was a book. It was very specific. It was a start date. So I know that there was closing the doors kind of thing. But what was it? Because you had communities. What was it that made you say, I'm in?
Maggie always knows. I don't know. I'll be honest. I went and got the Audible version. That was huge because then I could just be on the road and I'm like, oh, I get
So
information
would
faster.
it was it that you started listening to the book before we started and you're like, oh wait, oh wow, oh wait.
Yeah. I couldn't read it. I couldn't read it fast enough because I don't read. I fall asleep when I read.
Me too.
So
Very
I
common.
can listen and I can do that. I mean, that was for me was huge. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was that
I might have to go back to our messages because I know that it wasn't immediate like that. And I'm
it
saying this
wasn't.
for everyone who's going to watch this, who's going to be invited. And our Worthy Collective does not, what's different in what we learned about this is that we did this 10-week study and it was challenging because it had a start date and it had a close date. Like we weren't adding people after week 3. And it was really hard because women were like, oh, I'm ready. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with you now because we're in like week 3, which means that we're in like chapter 7 because we did like 2 to 3 chapters a week because there's 23 chapters in the book. And then all of a sudden I was like, peace out, homie. We don't have room for you because you're going to feel over blank, which is never a feeling I want to make somebody feel. So the difference was it was a start date. And I do believe it was because you started listening. So I think this is a really great point and also a great ending is that we always have 3 choices. We always have multiple choices. I shouldn't say 3. Sometimes we have to find the third. So you have the choice to do nothing.
Not a good choice, or else you're gonna be stuck right where you're at and sitting here going, what? I
Yeah,
think, well, I do know what it was now, I think.
I see it. I see it coming.
I see it. Because I was in and out, right? I was like trying to read those 3 or catch up with those 3 and be on a Sunday call and whatnot. It was a struggle with my world. But guess what? Guess what? In the Ascension group is and maybe I'm saying it wrong, but guess what? Um, it's all there. It's all there. Um, all of the Zoom calls, all of the reviews, all of the discussion after each session is all there for review. Um, I am now going back through that again at my pace, a little whatever that pace is, and and you made a comment about I'm retired, I could just do whenever. And what I've learned though is that now I feel like I have purpose and I still have a planner and I still have an alarm clock. Um, I still feel God has purpose for me and I have to get up every day and go find out what that purpose is and maybe not go look for it, but just go be present in the world and listen to what he's got for me that day. Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on a minute. You don't have to. You don't have to. You get to.
Yeah, I get to. I get to.
I
Yeah,
get to. And I
I
think
get
that's the
to.
part that sometimes we are in different seasons where we feel like,
No, I get to.
I get to. I had to tell myself this morning, I make this drink every single morning with, not every morning, sorry. I drink it every morning, but I make it like every 4 to 5 days. And today, I didn't have any. I drank the last of it yesterday and I was like,
You make that every day. That's good news to know. Why did I not know that?
no, 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 no. And so today was the day I was like, oh, I have to make this thing. And it's all it is a full lemon and like clean the lemon, cut it up, put it in the blender with a chunk of ginger, or you can put in powdered ginger. I put in turmeric because turmeric represents inflammation. I put in
Mhm.
cayenne pepper, not too much because whoa, that can kick you in the tush.
Yeah.
It can help activate the ingredients better. Olive oil, honey, water, and that's it. And so I blend it up, strain it, and I put it in a big glass jar and I drink like 4 to 6 ounces a morning with a little bit of cinnamon on top before I drink any coffee. And it is so good for my digestion. I've always had a funkiness with my skin. I mean, if you read anything about the lemons and ginger and
Oh,
all
yeah.
these things. And so this morning I literally laughed to myself and I was like, oh, I have to make this. And I was like, gosh, dang it, I get to. My ingredients are here. I've made it super simple. And as I'm doing it, I'm telling myself, gosh, making these choices are so good for me. and the options that I have. And then the people who don't have these options, they don't have this magic bullet. They don't have a strainer. They don't have the supplies, and how grateful I am, and turning it into a gratitude moment. And that's those options. So I have to catch ya. And what I do
Yeah.
believe is what you know about me that somebody might not know. And I realize for myself, I'll get kind of emotional here, is not kind of, I've gotten emotional about it, is that I've been the person to call someone out and say bullshit on that. Like,
Yeah.
no, Karen, you don't have to do jack. You have worked your tail off in life that you don't have to do anything. You
Right.
don't. You choose to get up. You choose to go serve your mother-in-law. You choose to go to mass. You choose to paint your freaking garage because you knew you needed it. You could have hired somebody. You could have totally
Yeah.
hired somebody. But you love putting yourself to a challenge. You love being able to see yourself capable, and the opportunity of finishing it is more powerful than anything. And sometimes we're in the life where we give it to the job to someone else and we feel so grateful we can. Yet that physical labor, now that you can do what you might not have been able to do it if you stayed
Oh,
on 13 medications. You would have been like, heck no, I do not want to do this all day. And so
yep.
those choices add up and they give us power. And what I was getting emotional about is that I have gotten quiet. No wonder I have a thyroid condition, because I have stifled my throat because I've been around people who would say, oh, you don't want to tell her that. Oh, you don't want to say that. Oh, that could do this. And like all the chitter chat. And I'm the person, and you know I'm that person. And I've been quiet for a bit, that I wouldn't call things out to say, you deserve better. You deserve an opportunity of choice. And if you choose to sleep in, good, you listen to your body and you need that. You choose to take a rest. You choose to take a nap. You know what I mean? You choose into what you know. And if you're choosing in often, that's when you have a gut check like, hmm, maybe I need to up my supplements, my vitamin C. Maybe I need to up my vitamin D because I'm so tired. But we go so fast and so hard, and we ignore these things that we don't realize something's off.
Right.
Yet, when you're recognizing the base of what is available, there's many numerous choices, and you have eliminated so many of those choices because you've made it simple. You found a company and a product to meet your needs in your household, in your kitchen, in your all throughout your house and body. And you have digital things that are going to be like this little umbrella that sprinkles in it. And now you have a worthy collective of women that you can inspire, because you have been that career woman who was balancing it all and then some. You've managed your health, and now you found solutions, and now you're able to make different choices, and you get to travel while you do it.
Yeah. All of that.
Such options. I'm so grateful for your willingness. I'm so grateful for your shares, because I believe this is brilliant. Somebody somewhere watching this is going to say, what's Melaleuca? What Tupperware? Wait, doTERRA? They're going to find you and say, oh my gosh, tell me more. Tell me more. And that is what I was made for in life, is to inform others of their choices and options and introduce people who have figured it out, and you've figured it out. And you're here today healthier than ever, I'd say.
Ah, in years, absolutely. And I don't say just 5 years, right? Because all of that was getting bad up until it got bad. So I would say, I go back to when I felt the best. I was in college, beginning college. I just turned 60 this year, so that was a long time ago. Yeah, a long time
That's
ago.
well, and what a choice it's been. A choice to
Yeah,
feel your best, and how sometimes people give up
yeah.
based on whatever number that is. You know,
Yep.
it could be a
Oh,
mom.
I'm just old. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just this. Oh,
Or
I'm
it could be a mom that had kids young, and at 29 she is just depleted, which,
mhm.
you know what I mean, like age is just a number. yet it's always a choice that we have available to us. And when women show up like you have to inspire through the process of it all and share your experience, I believe that that is such a beacon of hope. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you for helping lead this chat, and all of that you do, that you kept reaching out and giving me choices and helping see the goodness in me, and that I could help share that with others. And I hope I get to with the Worthy Collective, and um, show others what's possible. I can't even begin to tell. There's so much. And like um like you told me in that journal that you got, mine came in the mail, that you're on your fourth or fifth. Here's my
Fifth time doing this. I'm on day number 29. Oh, wait, no, that's for tomorrow. Today I am on day 28, and it's wild because I see all my notes from before. You are a leader. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give you, which is John 15:16. So your journey, what day are you on now?
one.
Day 1. I love it.
Day one.
My recommendation would be to date it.
I absolutely gonna date it. I was telling somebody about this book and sent this link to them yesterday, in
So
fact. But kind of like this book, and you told me you're going through it for the fifth time, and to date it and to leave space and whatnot. I'm excited to go back through again, because we're always learning, and that I'm excited to what I'm going to glean out of going through it again for I think the first time was like, okay, let me get through this.
yeah.
Let me
Oh,
let me
sure.
get through it. And now I think it's more of a, okay. And kind of pairing the two of those books together, the journal and the book. I think it's going to be exciting to see what's next.
Well, and I will say what's special too is this is
Yeah.
also available, that comes with the Worthy Collective. And I have a discount to print it, and mine is so tattered. Oh my gosh. So just more options and choices. So I'm watching the clock because I have another appointment. So as a recap, thank you, Karen. Thank you for your precious time and your willingness in all ways, And for everyone who is watching, whether this is Facebook, YouTube, or I'm trying to think other facets. I think that might be it. We invite you to reach out to Karen. I'll make sure her information is always linked so you can find her. And we're spotlighting her within our membership and community. And if you're not part of that, we have a Worthy Collective, and you can choose in, and you can use Karen's link. If you know Karen, she'll give you a link for an entire month for free. So you can get in, check us out, see what it's all about. And we're here to gather, grow, and inspire. And we have multiple faceted women like Karen, that they're not doing just one thing, because they have found joy in multiple places. And I think that so many times in life we get judged for what we do, and that's by someone who's doing next to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good check-in, not to take advice from someone you would not switch places with in life. And many of us are blessed in multiple ways, and some like to do less and some like to do more, and no one's better or worse. We are only greater by our own self and who we were yesterday. So we invite you to join our collective in any capacity. We have 2 different memberships, and and Karen has a link for you to get the Ascension, which is the everything community. You get everything and more. And we pride ourselves that we underpromise and we overdeliver. Yay! Thanks, love. That was so
Thank
good.
you.